Hello guys and welcome back to Makeup FOMO. Today we are going to do another foundation first impression because I have just been loving these lately. And today we're going to be talking about the Physicians Formula, the Healthy Foundation, which looks like this. This is some like serious packaging. Like this, it's glass. And it like feels so heavy. So I definitely am into like just how quality the packaging feels. This has SPF 20. It has a brightening complex, which you'll see when I actually do the demo what I think we can attribute that to. I think there is some small amount of luminosity in this. It says it's for all skin types, but that's all that the bottle says. So I just have the Ulta app here, and I'm just gonna read what the claims of this is, in case you're curious. It says it's packed with vitamins and antioxidants for healthy coverage, which I don't know what healthy coverage means. Does it just mean like a healthy looking finish, or like what's a healthy coverage? I feel like people don't usually call coverage healthy. So I'm not exactly sure, but it is called the Healthy Foundation, so they're probably just trying to incorporate that in some way. It has all kinds of extracts and hyaluronic acid, so it helps with hydration, brightness, evening skin tone. It says ultra blendable, lightweight, buildable, and breathable. So not a crazy amount of claims. The shade situation is a little bit weird. So I got the color LC1, which I'm pretty positive is the lightest shade. But the other shades that they have listed are DC1 through 4, DW2, no other DWs, and then LC1, LN3 and 4, LW2, and then like MC, MN. I'm assuming that these stand for like MN is medium neutral, MC is medium cool, LC is light cool. I'm guessing, but like they don't have a consistent number of shades. Like, so I don't know if they're just like releasing a few shades at a time, which is not unusual for them to kind of start small and then start adding to the shade selection as it, starts selling. So Physicians Formula is kind of known for not having like the most awesome shade range. So this is the lightest shade, and I'm not like incredibly fair, but I'm pretty light, and I do think that it's a great skin tone match for me. So if you're anything near my complexion, this is probably what you can go for. And we've got a doe foot applicator, my favorite. This does retail for $12.99 at Ulta, so I mean it's high for drugstore prices, but like Physicians Formula A is always high for drugstore prices, which is like not my favorite thing about them. And also, as everyone's been commenting and we all know, drugstore prices are just kind of outrageous lately and everyone's just jacking up the prices. But in terms of like the current price of drugstore foundations, this is actually pretty reasonable, $12.99. Most drugstore foundations I feel like are retailing between like $9 and like $14 anyway. So this is pretty average for what the drugstore is doing to us lately. So I don't think that it's anything crazy. You do get 1 fluid ounce, which is standard. That is some of the information on this foundation. Now we're going to hop into the demo where I try it on, and then I also check back in with you guys at the end of the video after I've worn it for a few hours to give you a little bit of an update. So if you're interested in seeing how this foundation wears and what I think of it, just keep watching. Okay guys, so I have you all zoomed in up close and personal on my face. I have nothing on my face except for moisturizer. I'm not going to prime because, we want to see how this does all by itself. So like I said in the intro, I'm using the shade LC1. I'm going to do one side with a brush, one side with a sponge, just to see which way we like the application better. And I apologize if this lighting is not any good. It's like really, really gloomy and rainy outside, which I kind of like for like a Sunday. It's kind of like a cozy, like stay inside rainy Sunday, but it's not the best for filming. So I apologize about that, but hopefully you're up close enough where you'll still be able to see everything that I'm wanting to show you. So we are just going to get started and apply this. So the applicator on this is just like the Rimmel one, the couple videos back that I did first impression of. It has the giant doe foot. Now I think a lot of people are realizing that that's an awesome like application method for foundation. Obviously the new Tarte Shape Tape foundation that just came out also has that, so I definitely like that a lot of brands are trying that out, so I'm a fan of that. Now you remember I made the mistake in the Rimmel video of like talking too much and not blending it out right away, and then it dried all funny and streaky, so I don't want to make the same mistake again, just in case this is anything like that. And this is my e.l.f. Total Face Sponge, I think it's called. I've talked about this in a couple of videos. I love this sponge. It's so soft. I love the shape of it. It's just like, I mean, a ton of sponges are shaped this way, but I just feel like it doesn't absorb a lot of product. So I highly recommend this sponge. I think it's pretty new. Okay, so as you saw, I just used all the product that was on the applicator. I didn't dip back in for any additional product. So this is basically one coat. I really need to tell you though, it smells like paint. Like it smells like the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation, which I don't really mind this smell because I don't smell it while it's on my face, but in the bottle, like, it smells very, very strong. So just to keep that in mind if you're interested in this, the smell is like very strong, but I don't smell it right now. So based on just that one layer with the product that came on the applicator, it's definitely a medium, like light to medium coverage. Like you can definitely still see a lot of my acne scarring. It's not covering a lot. It didn't do anything for my dark circles. I mean, I think you can definitely tell a difference. It's evened out my skin tone for sure from this side to this side. So it did something, but just in general, I prefer a brush application over a sponge just because I like to maintain as much coverage as I can. So that's what we're going to do on this side. I'm going to use my e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Sponge. This is one of my favorite foundation sponges of ever. And let's see if we get any more coverage from that. I kind of wish a little bit more product came out on the applicator. I like to press it in more so than like blend it around, just to also help with the coverage situation. So we definitely got more coverage with the brush for sure. I have like this little thingy thing that was not really invited right there. It covered that. It covered like all of my scarring over here, even under my eyes. Like you can tell it definitely covered a little bit more of the darkness over here than it did over here. So I think that the brush is going to be my preferred method, which is pretty much what I expected. But I always like to try a sponge also just in case to see how they worked together. I want to just see if this is buildable. So I'm going to add just a tiny bit, not all over my face, but just to some of the areas that I could use a little bit more coverage just to see. And I'm going to use the brush to blend this out since that's going to keep a little bit more of the coverage for us. So that definitely did it for me. I'm actually really liking how this is laying on the skin. It looks just very like smooth. It didn't settle into any of my pores, which I sometimes have a problem with. I feel like it kind of just glided over them. And it doesn't look heavy, but it definitely looks like, I would definitely say like low full coverage. My forehead, as you guys will know if you've watched my other foundation videos, is like incredibly dry, like right here and all in the center. And it doesn't look even the least bit dry. I don't know if you can tell. I need to do my eyebrows and like obviously the rest of my face, but it just looks super smooth all in that area. It's not clinging to anything. It's looking a little bit luminous, and you would probably expect it for this side because I use the sponge, but on this side I only use the brush, and you can definitely still see a little bit of luminosity, which I always love in my foundation, as you guys know. I also think the color is like a perfect match for me right now. It looks just like very healthy and natural. I just really don't feel like it looks like I have a lot of product on, because you can still see my skin even though it's covering everything. It's not like a layer. So as of right now, I am loving it. It is not patchy at all. It blended out very smoothly. It looks nice literally everywhere. To be honest, I really didn't have like the highest hopes for this foundation, so I'm pretty impressed so far. I am going to finish up the rest of my makeup and then I'll be back with you guys. Okay, so I just threw on some concealer, powder, a little bit of bronzer, a little bit of blush. I didn't really do much with my eyes or my brows, so this is just how I'm going. But I think that it looks so nice. All of the products blended so nicely over it. It's not quite as luminous anymore. I didn't put any highlight on yet, but it doesn't look quite as luminous through the powder, so I don't think that the luminosity is going to really hold its own if you usually set your foundation. If you don't, it probably would still be a little bit more glowy than this is, but I think that the coverage looks really great. I didn't add much concealer. I just did some under my eyes and then a little bit on my chin and around my nose, but for the most part, I didn't really feel like I needed to cover very much, which I really like. So I'm actually going to do this a little bit different than I normally do. I'm going to run my errands. I'm going to the grocery store, like I said, getting my haircut, and then I'm going to come back to do the outro so that I can kind of report back how it wore, if my thoughts have changed at all. So I will see you guys in a couple hours for that. Hello guys, so I am back to check in with you on the foundation. I put it on, I didn't mention, but I put it on around 9 o'clock, and it is a little after 12:30 right now, so it's been on for about 3.5 hours, so not like a super long time, but I did run out. It's raining, like I said, so it got a little bit rained on. I went to the grocery store, I got my hair cut. You can't really tell, but it just feels so much healthier. But anyway, that's not the point of this video. So I have a couple of thoughts. It's definitely creasing. Let me zoom you in. It's definitely creasing a little bit in my smile lines, which is pretty much to be expected. Like, that happens with a lot of my foundations. It's really just out here. And then it did wear off like a little bit. You can probably see a little bit of the redness under my nose is peeking through, but I'm like constantly like touching my nose ring, so that's also not really the foundation's fault. But other than that, it looks very nice. I love how it looks on my forehead. It just looks very smooth. It's maintaining its coverage. All the products I've put on top of it, I did, like, obviously, as you can see, I did a little bit more makeup than the last clip, and I added a little bit of bronzer and blush, and everything just looked really nice on top of it. So I think that this foundation is a pretty good fit for me. I think the next time I do it, I'll definitely use a brush the entire time because I like the coverage rather than having to do 2 separate layers. And I really don't have any complaints at all. If anything does change, I will update you guys in the description box like I usually do. But overall, I would definitely say that I like this foundation. I would recommend it. I just have normal skin with a little bit of dry patches, like I mentioned, so I can really only speak for people with my skin type. I'm not sure how this would work for oily skin people, but if any of you guys have tried this, definitely leave a comment because it could definitely help some other people that are checking out this video and are interested in this foundation. So that is all for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I so appreciate you being here. I am just loving doing these foundation first impressions. Like I always say, if you have any other foundation like suggestions for me to try out, I love trying them, so let me know in the comments below and I can totally look into it. If you guys would like to subscribe to the channel, I would love to have you. We have so much fun here, and until next time, I will catch you guys in our next video. Bye guys.